What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. Hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got a split review to do for you, and I'm going to show it to you right now. This is the new split from the band Satanic Warmaster and Archgoat, entitled Lux Satanae, 13 Hymns of Finnish Devil Worship. This is released on Hells Headbangers Records. Now, if I could think of two bands from within the Finnish black metal realm that are very well known, well established, and well respected that could possibly team up together to make a split, it would most likely be both Satanic Warmaster and Archgoat, because that's exactly what they are. They are both wildly popular, very well respected. They put out some incredibly consistent material, very blasphemous, very controversial, but yet these bands both maintain a special sort of dignity for their craft and for their love of black metal and or black metal or death metal. Two really insane, great bands in their own respective rights. Proudly waving the flag for Finnish black metal, in my opinion. Let's start off with Satanic Warmaster's side of the split. I should mention that this split is very unique in the fact that for their respective sides, they decide to go into the past in somewhat ways by re-recording some of their older material. As far as Satanic Warmaster goes, there's a small handful of songs that get picked from the first 3 albums, and for Archgoat's side, you get songs from the first 2 demos revisited. But anyway, let's get on to Satanic Warmaster. It's mainly the one-man project of a guy by the name of Werewolf. For a majority of his existence, he handled a lot of the music and material behind Satanic Warmaster stuff. It was very well evidented in his entire body of work, especially the first 3 full lengths, Strength and Honor, Op for Blut, and Karelian Satanist Madness. Those albums, to me, represent the very best moments of Satanic Warmaster. Very raw, very punishing, very heavy, memorable riffs and vocals, just a very dedicated sort of craft when it came to those Satanic Warmaster releases. And later on in Satanic Warmaster's discography, there were some pretty solid albums as well, like Noxeror and 2014's Fimbulwinter. Very solid albums in their own right, but to me they couldn't hold a candle to those classic sort of Satanic Warmaster releases. As more recent as they might have been, I would consider them black metal classics in my own mind. But anywho, the 4 tracks that are on here are pretty much songs seldom picked from those first 3 records. Songs like Black Destiny, Wolves of Blood and Iron, and My Kingdom of Darkness. Pretty much re-recorded and redone in the current sort of Satanic Warmaster lineup. Which is very unique because Satanic Warmaster is pretty much lately a full-blown lineup, with guitar player, bassist, a drummer, and Werewolf handling the vocals and keyboards and whatnot. And even guitars if you wanted to do that. And listening to these re-recorded songs, it really does feel like a reawakening and a rebirth for Satanic Warmaster in a way. And I think that with each song that you listen to on here, including the Pest cover, Satanic Winter, you do feel a lot of rejuvenation and a lot of excitement in these songs. There's a certain majestic feeling you get once you listening to the opening riffs of Black Destiny. It really does feel sensational and catchy upon the first glance. And every single song on here does feel very much contemporary and new, but yet it does maintain a lot of the essences that make Satanic Warmaster sound like Satanic Warmaster. That hint and touch of rawness is still there, and it really does make for some incredibly memorable moments. Once again, mentioning the Pest cover, Satanic Winter, the way Satanic Warmaster handles that cover just sounds so much fun to listen to. Just the riff work, the drumming, the vocal deliveries, it just sounds so awesome. The solos on there, it really does have a really unique attitude going for it. But as far as the actual Satanic Warmaster songs, the one song that does speak the most to me is definitely Wolves of Blood and Iron. Just the way every single instrument comes together, the way the keyboards are handled, the overall sound and vibe of everything, it does feel like genuine Satanic Warmaster. Of course, Werewolf's vocals are incredibly recognizable and are done very powerfully. He has a very great rasp in his voice. just the commanding presence that he brings to his vocal style. It really is awesome to listen to, and it makes every time he says what he says on every single track on here, he does command your attention and makes you pay attention to everything. And that's what's so awesome about this side of the Satanic Warmaster split. I enjoyed this side of the split a lot more than I thought I was going to, but it really does make me have a more fonder appreciation and respect for Werewolf and for all of his accomplishments throughout the annals of black metal. So that side of the split is great. Now we get on to Archgoat's side of the split. Of course, Archgoat are unapologetically perverted bestial maniacs. Such an incredible band. This band has put out some incredible work. Their early demos to their more contemporary full-length albums like Whore of Bethlehem, The Light Devouring Darkness, and of course, my #2 album from last year, The Apocalyptic Triumphator. Such a marvelous, marvelous record. Probably one of the most fun albums I've ever had the privilege of listening to. Typical Archgoat, doing business as usual, but yet they deliver it in such an amazingly fun manner. Now we get to this side of the split, and pretty much they revisit their first 2 demos, 1991's Jesus Spawn, 1993's Penis Perverser. Of course, the 2 would then soon merge into the Angel Cunt EP, which is still an incredible EP to say the least. A majority of the songs on the Archgoat side of the split are taken from the Penis Perverser side, with a small handful of Jesus Spawn songs and a song from the Angel Cunt release. And pretty much like the early demos, these songs are very short, sweet, and to the point. But yet, since they're re-recorded, they have that almost modern, contemporary Archgoat sort of sound. Still raw, still bestial, but yet everything sounds proper. Everything sounds wonderful here. The way the drums are, the way the riffs sound, I mean, Ritual Butcher is such an incredible guitar player. Just the evilness going through these guitar riffs just sounds so wonderful to listen to, especially on some of the shorter songs like Jesus Spawn and Satanic Oath. It just really sounds fantastic. To even the lengthier songs like Death and Necromancy, to even the track Thrice Damned Sodomizer. It just really sounds wonderful to hear these guitar riffs sound so good and so maniacal. The undertone of the bass works out very nicely. The drum work is really good here, very quick-witted. Not a dry moment to be had here. There really isn't no let-up period when it comes to these drums and how they sound and how they are executed. And of course, Lord Angel Slayer doing his vocal style, the classic Archgoat sort of guttural, grunting sort of sound. It really does sound amazing to hear him come full circle all this time later from these early 90s demos into these newer versions of those songs. Sounds so good. His vocal work is just unparalleled here. I love the way he sounds here. Just like Werewolf and Satanic Warmaster, Lord Angel Slayer's vocals are very commanding, and he makes you want to listen to every single minute of the split that's on here. Both sides of these splits sort of equal in time. I had thought to myself, how come Satanic Warmaster doesn't have any more songs? Then I listened to Archgoat's side, and then I figured, you know what? It balances itself out. I pretty much think that this is a near flawless sort of split. Every inch of this split just sounds right, it feels right, they complement each other very well, and this is a wonderful, wonderful piece of Finnish black metal music to be heard. So if you're a fan of both of these bands, this is a split that's mandatory purchasing. Just the way it looks, the way it feels, the way it sounds, it is just incredibly entertaining to listen to, and very much there will be lots of demand for this to get put into print and continuously sold, because this is something for the record books, I would say. So I'm going to leave you some links in the description box as how you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will link you to the Hells Headbangers Bandcamp page where you can stream this split in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy of being purchased or not. You can buy it digitally, and you can also currently buy it on 12-inch vinyl. To the best of my knowledge, it is currently only available as a standard black vinyl. There were also purple and picture disc editions, limited to 222 copies. All of them sold out very quickly. The version that I have is the picture disc edition, and of course, since it's a Hells Headbangers picture disc, the sound quality and the way that it looks feels fantastic. Of course, this is the Satanic Warmaster side, and this side here is the Archgoat side. I think it really, really sounds fantastic to listen to, and it looks great, it sounds great, and of course you got this little insert here with Satanic Warmaster on one side, and you have Archgoat on the other side. Really, really fantastic stuff to be listening to, and a must own for any fan of Finnish black metal. So let me show you the split again. This is Satanic Warmaster and Archgoat with Lux Satanae, 13 hymns of Finnish devil worship. This is released on Hells Headbangers Records. Go buy this shit. If you happen to have heard this, let me know what you think of it and which side you happen to prefer the most. So I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for joining my channel, and until the next time, Armijo out.